Hey there. So I have now had a couple of people express their concern. They're kind of not looking forward to Saturn entering Pisces because a lot of the messages out there are making it sound a little intense. So let me tell you how I interpret Saturn in Pisces. Now, I'm a Capricorn sun, and I have a tendency to feel just fine with Saturn. And Saturn for me is the planet that creates structure. Now, you can interpret structure in a lot of different ways, but Saturn is the planet that says, hey, you have this enormous amorphous idea. Let's give it some structure so that we can bring it into the physical world. That's how I understand Saturn. It can feel really, really uncomfortable, though, when Saturn shows up in your life and you've created a bunch of structures that are not supporting you in terms of who you want to be. And so then Saturn's going to have you evaluate them by creating a very tight, uncomfortable situations. And people can interpret that as smashing structures. We're not going to go there, because if you've been doing your inner work, then you have the tools and the capacity to work with Saturn in a really, really good way with Pisces. So Pisces energy is very flowy and expansive and emotional. And so naturally, people are interpreting when you put Pisces and Saturn together, it's going to be really uncomfortable. So I'm going to give you a new perspective. Think about it this way. When you're super spiritual, you know exactly what it's like to step into a meditative state and enter this incredibly expansive place. If you spend time with your soul and you spend time with your non-physical senses, you know how expansive that energy can be. You can spend a lot of time floating around out there. Saturn's going to help you come down here into your physical life, your everyday life, and give it structure. So if you've had big dreams, and if you've been dreaming a lot up in the ethers, Saturn will help you put structure to it. If you are feeling like there's just a lot of emotions moving through, you're going to find ways to create structure to it. Another way that I think about emotions is I kind of think about them like water. So Saturn are the banks of the river, and the water is your emotions. So nature naturally constructs structures for different things, and water works well for us in the world when it's moving through a riverbed. So Saturn in Pisces is not a horrible thing. It's about your perspective for how you're going to approach it. We can stand to have some pretty good structures in place for ourselves as spiritual and intuitive women, and they can be very, very supportive in bringing our dreams to life. I hope this has helped you. I wanted to offer this new perspective because I'm sharing this with my mastery group, and I invite you to take a look at my programs, which I'm linking below. I'm currently enrolling for Emerge into Mastery, which is a program that helps you learn to see yourself in your mastery as an intuitive woman growing her business. I hope you'll join me. Thanks, y'all.